George and Amal Clooney have always seemed untouchable. The charming actor and the brilliant human rights lawyer created what many considered the modern-day fairy tale marriage. They were admired not only for their stunning appearances and powerful careers but for their united front, standing together at world events, political summits, and red carpet galas. Their love story inspired millions. But behind that perfection was a pressure few could understand. For years, the world saw only the highlights. Amal defending international justice while George directed, produced, and acted in major films, all while raising their twins. They seemed inseparable. But no one knew that the very foundation of their relationship was slowly cracking behind closed doors. And then, it all came crashing down in the most public, humiliating way possible. Amal Clooney, ever composed, always dignified, was in the middle of delivering a high-profile human rights argument in an international court when she received a message that changed everything. According to a source inside the courtroom, Amal's face turned pale, her hands began trembling, and within minutes, she collapsed to the floor, right in front of stunned judges, attorneys, and international media outlets. Court proceedings were halted immediately as emergency personnel rushed in. At first, everyone suspected exhaustion or illness. But what later emerged was far more devastating. Amal had just learned of an explosive revelation involving George Clooney's secret affair. While the world was admiring George for his activism and recent film projects, an unseen scandal was brewing. Sources claim that George had been involved in a discreet emotional relationship with a much younger actress, a rising star he'd been mentoring on set. It allegedly began as a professional connection but evolved into something deeper over time. The affair was never meant to come to light. But in the age of digital footprints and anonymous leaks, nothing stays hidden for long. Text messages, photos, and even late-night hotel meetings were eventually uncovered by a private investigator hired by someone inside Amal's legal circle, allegedly after she had her suspicions. But what truly broke Amal was not the affair itself, but how long it had been going on, and the lies she had been fed while managing George's declining health. It's no secret that George Clooney had been struggling in recent months with reported health issues, possibly even early-onset memory loss. Amal, ever the loyal wife, had stood firmly by his side. She rearranged her demanding legal schedule, limited her travel, and focused on keeping their family unit together. She became his support system, his shield from the world. Little did she know that while she was protecting his reputation and well-being, George was drifting emotionally elsewhere. According to insiders, Amal had sensed a growing distance but never imagined betrayal on this scale. And when the confirmation came, while she was in court fighting for justice for others, it was too much to bear. After her collapse, Amal was reportedly taken to a private hospital, where she was stabilized. George, upon hearing the news, was said to be devastated and attempted to reach her, but Amal reportedly refused to speak to him. Their twins are currently being cared for by close family members as the Clooney household enters crisis mode. The media circus that followed has only added pressure. Paparazzi swarm their estate. Journalists camp outside the hospital. And Hollywood. It's shaken. The image of George Clooney, once the charming, loyal husband, is now being examined under a harsh new light. Known for her grace and resilience, Amal Clooney is not expected to disappear quietly. Though shaken, she remains a fierce advocate for truth and justice, not just for her clients, but now for herself. Those close to her say she is already considering legal action and may file for separation or even divorce, depending on how events unfold. While Amal has always tried to keep her private life out of headlines, this betrayal has forced her into a public spotlight she never wanted. But knowing Amal, she won't allow herself to be defined by this. If anything, her pain might become a new chapter in her global advocacy, one that empowers women to speak out, even when their world falls apart. This story is more than just another celebrity scandal. It shines a light on how betrayal can happen even in the most admired relationships, how the pressures of fame can cloud judgment, and how strong women like Amal are often left to pick up the pieces, while maintaining dignity in public. As the Clooney marriage hangs in the balance, one thing is certain: this is not the end for Amal Clooney. It's a turning point, a painful, public, and raw moment that could redefine her story, but not break her spirit. George Clooney's legacy may forever be tainted by this revelation. Amal's collapse in court is not just symbolic of a health scare, It's a collapse of trust, of illusion, and of a life built on presumed partnership. But out of the rubble, Amal may emerge even stronger. If you found this story powerful, emotional, and important to share, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. What do you think Amal's next move should be? Do you believe George Clooney can redeem himself? Let's have a respectful, thoughtful conversation in the comments.